WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, so just in the WCB Podcast, it's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Fucking new year, new me, bud.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not hopeful. No, I'm just kidding. just ready for, more depression, I guess.
I was going to say new year. You say new year, new you. After the performance at the Winter Classic, I would actually be very impressed that you were able to change. But then again, you were very optimistic to begin with, so
yeah,
that's not good. But yeah, all hell's breaking loose in Chicago Blackhawk world of hockey. Whether it's the team, the front office, allegedly, the fan base, like it's just you'd think the world was coming to an end, and that what is going on with this team is actually like a significant impact on the world.
Yeah, right.
Like holy shit.
I think, yeah, man. This is a bad one.
It's bad. Before we get to the Winter Classic and just the whole fallout from that, just a quick recap, because we're not going to talk about each game because it's copy, paste, repeat what's going on. I mean, the only close game was Minnesota on the 23rd where they lost 4-3. Other than that, the Hawks went 0-4 since we last recorded with a 6-2 loss to the lowly Buffalo Sabres, a 5-1 loss to Dallas, and a 6-2 loss to St. Louis at Wrigley Field. I think Ben Pope was like for the first time since like 1987, the Hawks have let up, was it 4 goals? Yeah, 4 more goals in 3 consecutive games. Like it's bad, man. It's really bad.
I mean, it's really 4 more goals in 5 consecutive games.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Maybe the stat was like they lost by 4 goals or something, 4 or more.
Yeah,
I guess I probably should have had that handy if I was going to mention it.
It's all right. There's a lot of things that like I think of like at like in the moment and been like, oh shit, I'll mention this, but I completely forgot what it actually was. Like this one, there was something that Taylor Hall had said when he was talking about playing under Andrew Sorensen that like, we're not going to be like. You're going to see a lot more like excitement, goal scoring and everything with like his systems. It's not going to be like a 2-1 loss every time. You'll see us score 3 or 4, but that he didn't mention that they were also going to be giving up 4-6.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Blackhawks have lost 3 consecutive games by 4+ goal margins for the first time since 1987.
Oh, okay. Goal margin.
That's
Got it.
That's what it was.
That's funny. Yep, that sucks. That's not good.
But I guess okay, let's talk about it. Winter Classic.
Just start there. Yeah.
Hype is fucking real, man, going into this. It looked good. I mean, I had to wear it. I came in today. I had to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
The jerseys their setup was absolutely fantastic. I mean, from the helmet decals to the jersey to the gloves to the socks. It was like probably one of the best Winter Classic setups, I think, in the history of the Winter Classic. And I know, you're just being biased as a Blackhawk fan. I'm like, no, this is fucking clean. Like it is so fucking clean. The fans were buzzing, the team was buzzing. They were talking about how this is one that you got to win, and you felt like they were turning a corner. They had this 4-game losing streak, but they're coming off and still playing some good hockey, before that, and this is the opportunity to kind of turn it around and get back on track.
Yeah,
you're playing St. Louis, your rival, the team you want to beat the most, the team that beat you in the previous Winter Classic in 2017. And you want to get your revenge there. Holy shit! Did their feet not get the memo to what they were hyping themselves up for?
Man, this game was just like at this point, I'm just dad. I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
And it's like you said this today, and it kind of it kind of stuck with me. It's like we understand this team's not good.
Yes.
We know they're not going to win.
Yes.
But we expect a lot more than what this team gave us in the Winter Classic.
Yeah, they might as well not even have been there. Like it looked like no effort being made to actually play hockey in this game. And it was like not as there was a stretch where I was like, they can't complete one fucking pass. There was so much time when I was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I think you and me both, like when we were talking earlier, mentioned this. I've never been the kind of guy that's like, shoot. But holy shit. Like there is so many times during this game, I'm like, shoot the fucking puck. Just shoot it. Just shoot it. Shoot it. And I'm like, they're turning me into the fucking shoot guy. Like, are you kidding me?
In these type of games, the ice is not great. You know, passing is going to be hard as it is. And for some reason, they took it to a completely another level of making these passes difficult on themselves. So what you typically do, like the strategy in these outdoor games, is just pucks on net, get to the net. You never know what's going to happen. Binnington showed that he was leaving up some big rebounds in big spots that the Hawks would capitalize. I mean, the Taylor Hall goal is a perfect example of it.
Yeah.
It's like puck on net, Taylor Hall picks up the rebound, goal.
Yep.
And what do? It's like they still come in and they still try to force passes. Bedard did it a couple times trying to force a pass through three guys when he's like just take the fucking shot. I mean, and it's like people are like, oh, well, the Hawks outshot St. Louis 30-28. Yeah, well, also the shots that they were taking were from the bad angles, and they're just getting tossed. Like, who was it that I sent that I was like, oh, it's impressive that somebody registered like 6 shots on goal in like 3 seconds or something. And then you look at the video and it's like, oh yeah, no, he just like literally it was like shot, tap, 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 tap. Like that was like that's what I felt like the shots were for the Hawks in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like the chances that they didn't take shots that they should have taken shots were a lot. And then the shots that they did take where you're kind of like, okay, like they got it on net, but it's just like, they're trying to make some passes when you're like, it's not fucking working. Like, just take the shot. And then they're taking shots when you're like, okay, great, they took a shot, but like nothing came of it. Like no one's in front, no one's in the like area to get a rebound. And you're just like, cool, way to go.
It's like when you watch them try to force these passes and try to make these pretty plays, it's like I always think of Miracle, the Herb Brooks line. You're not good enough to win on skill alone. It's like this team, and it's like that's the definition for this Blackhawk team. But it's like they don't even have the skill as a passing unit to even get to the point of like, okay, well, your skill's not going to win it for you. Like they're below.
It's not even like passing in the zone. It's like fucking passing on a breakout, like passing through the neutral zone. Like it's not there. Like they cannot fucking make that move, like make the passes at all.
It's men's league hockey.
I'm like, what are you doing in practice? Like, are you able to like complete passes there? Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, it's so crazy. Like, so many passes are like too far in front, too far behind. Like, nothing is like within reachable for like anybody. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening out here? Like, are you guys using the wrong curves? Are you just swapping sticks and like I have no fucking clue how it's working? Like, what's going on?
You guys sure you're lefties and righties? Like, you maybe should you switch hands or something? Like, I've seen better passing in men's league games.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it. And it's like, you can't have the argument of like, oh, well, you know, the ice is bad or something. St. Louis is doing fucking perfectly fine with it.
Yeah, their game plan was working. Like they took fewer shots than the Hawks and just they took more quality shots. They got in front of the fucking net. Half of their goals came from the fucking point.
Yep.
Like they crowded in front. They fucking got the shots through and then they just went in. Like, it didn't matter if Mrazek was in. It wouldn't have mattered if Soderblom was in. Like, those were fucking going in because nobody could fucking see them.
Though the way they were moving the puck and just being able to do their set plays in the zone, like on the power play. I mean, their first 2 goals, like, I don't know what the Hawks were doing. Like, especially, was it the Kyrou one where
they bounced it around.
Yeah, and then you had Crevier is like trying to cover 2 guys in front because like Jones is just drifting up to the front, which we'll get into him in a second. But it's like I don't know how many more times it was like you can watch it and it's like, okay, St. Louis in the zone, point, down low, back door, goal. Like we talk about with Ovi. We like it's been this many times. How many years has it been? And people still let him the left side from the circle, one-timer for the goal on the power play. You know it's coming, but it still happens. It's like, you know this is coming, it still happens. Why is there not a change coming to prevent it?
I don't know. It's fucking driving me crazy right now.
Like, I think the worst part of this too is everybody shitting on the Hawks for being in a Winter Classic game again and just shitting the bed. I mean, they're 0-5 in Winter Classic games. They're 1-6, I believe, in like outdoor games in general. And I see people like, okay, can we just agree never to put the Hawks in this again? Yeah, yes. I 100% agree. Do you want to give the Hawks a specialty jersey so they can make money for you? Sure, do that, but keep it indoors. Keep it away from the spotlight like this.
We don't need it. Like, we don't really want it anymore.
There is zero reason for this team to be in the Winter Classic.
I mean,
there's one reason.
Show off Bedsy.
Right. That's the only reason. But I would have rather wait 1 or 2 more years and make this a competitive game and not this dog shit game, whatever it was we saw. What Bedsy called it, got just absolutely dog walked out there. Like, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, they said they laid an egg. That's true. Let's see. I'm trying to find something really quick. That's why I'm kind of like scanning everywhere.
No, you're good.
Because I was gonna look this stat up earlier.
There's like reports, like according to Whitney on Spin Chicklets, that KD came down the locker room afterward and just gave it to the team about their performance and all that, which, hey, I don't care what anybody says. We'll talk about KD in a little bit here, but it's like, I'm glad he did that. I'm glad he came down because it doesn't matter what this team is built for. What we saw was not NHL caliber.
Right.
I think Rockford would have done a better job out there, to be honest. Like, and I know that might sound like a little drastic, but at this point, it's like just what we're seeing from this Hawks team in the last 4 games, 5 games now. Like, I just,
dude, this I didn't look this stat up until now, and like, holy shit, because we were talking about Seth Jones a little bit, and obviously one of those goals we were talking about too was on the power play where Seth Jones was just kind of fucking caught in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, do you know what the Hawks penalty kill was when he was hurt?
Like position
ranking,
in the league?
Like ranking wise.
I think they got like 4th.
During the time he was injured.
Yeah, like 4th.
The Hawks were fucking 1.
No.
They had the best penalty kill in the league, over 90%, 91.7%. Isn't that fucking insane?
Well, I mean,
you know what their
he comes back in that 31 consecutive
has been since Jones came back.
32.
No, it's not ranked 32. It's 20. They have a 75% penalty kill.
Yeah, not good enough.
And I mean, he plays the penalty kill.
He plays the power play.
What's fucking different there? Seth Jones. What the fuck is going on? Like, yeah, honestly, I didn't even look at the power play either. Watch that be fucking dog shit too now.
I mean, it hasn't been. I mean, they were 2 for 4 in this game. Both their goals were power play goals in this one. But I just feel like when he was out, Vlasic running that PP1, like I just felt there was urgency. There was a lot more jump in this team.
Okay.
With Vlasic, running it.
Yeah. No, there definitely was. Like, because he moved the puck and then he knew when to shoot because like it was a good option. Like the amount of times right now where it's like, okay, Bedsy, like if you watch Montreal and their power play and it gets to Line, who sets up on like if you're looking at the goal, he's like blue line left side so that it's like an easy one-timer for him because he's right-handed. And so they set it up in the umbrella and he starts with it, passes it to the defenseman, passes it to the right side. That shifts all the defensive players over. They move it back, and as they move it back to him, he fucking unloads a 1T. And I'm just kind of like, okay, why don't we do that? And it's because Seth Jones is also right-handed, and now when that puck moves over to the right side, as soon as it gets back to him, he fucking shoots it instead. And it's just kind of like, okay, I feel like there's a better option here, but maybe I'm just fucking wrong.
I've been trying to defend him the entire time since he's come to Chicago. I felt like he had an unfair judgment against him based on the contract he signed. And we always talk about it. It's like you can't blame the player on that because, what are you going to say? Someone offers you X amount of money. And you're going to be like, no, you know what? I'm not worth that. Let me take less money.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's Stan Bowman's last fuck you to the Hawks. I mean, let's just plain and simple, that's what it is. And you can call me a Bowman hater all you want. I don't care. This is his last big fuck you to Chicago before he was out. And it's just, I'm having so hard. Like, it's becoming harder and harder to defend this guy. And it's especially with what you sent regarding the media scrum with Seth Jones post Winter Classic. If you want to get into that.
Sure. Yeah. It's just I forgot what it said. It's according to Bleacher Report. Oh, Tab Bamford. It says, after the game, we were told that Nick Foligno, Connor Murphy, and Seth Jones, the three formerly recognized leaders, and Hall would speak to the media. When we got in the room, we were greeted by Foligno, Hall, Murphy, and then Connor Bedard. And it's like the teenagers spoke after the game. The 30-year-old making $9.5 million did not.
So he's got an A on his jersey.
Yeah, man. It's crazy to me because like we tend to hear a lot of quotes from the guys that are mentioned, and I never hear anything about Seth Jones saying anything. Like is he like exempt from like actually having to talk to anybody all the time?
Like you're a captain, a leader on an Original Six franchise. You're one of the highest paying players on this team. You are the highest paid player on this team, I believe. And you're not going to talk to the media because you're unhappy how the game went. So you send out a 19-year-old kid who is already under the microscope and just absolutely getting destroyed for no fucking reason by fans outside of Chicago and people outside of Chicago.
And they're just going to shit on him as part of the loss for, not scoring a goal. But what's he going to do when nobody can make a fucking pass?
I don't know. At this point, it's like, fucking buy him out. I rather have that cap hit on our books than somebody like that on our team. Especially with what's going where things are hopefully going with the development of our back end and stuff like prospects. Buy him out. It opens up another spot for somebody else in our system that was potentially on the way out just because they were odd man out because of Seth Jones' contract. Yeah,
man. I don't know.
I know that's
I feel like it's gonna end up getting how many years left on it? Is it 6? 5? I feel like he's gonna have to get moved because eventually you have Levshunov and you have Renzel, and like I'm sure they're both going to be on the team within the next 5 years.
I don't even fucking think about Renzel. Like I always forget about him because he's not with like Rockford or anything. Like when I think of all the guys that are in Rockford and like the guys get called up, sent down in Chicago and all that. Like, yeah, dude, fucking buy him out.
It's not. I feel like that's not worth it, and you could just fucking trade him. I'm sure he would be fine with being traded to like a fucking contender with like salary retained.
But what contender? If you're gonna retain salary, then it's like that's where I miss cap friendly because
why?
To see the buyout.
I'm looking at the buyout right now. They have it on Puckpedia.
Okay, but that doesn't seem right to me.
So his cap hit would be 7.375 for next year. Is that? Oh, I chose the wrong year. It would be 25-26. There we go. So if you did a buyout of Seth Jones, it would be $5 million next season on the books, and then 7.5. Okay, that's $8 million, $8 million, and then it's $1 million for 5 years after that. That doesn't seem right, but is that it? It's only 5 years. Oh, buyout length 10 years. How did they end up? Like, I don't understand that versus like the Parise and Suter buyout.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Well, didn't they had those different contracts so that were signed before?
Is that why
everything changed? So it might be different.
That's not bad.
But it's like, honestly, I know it's really like it's an overreaction to say buy him out.
Oh yeah.
But it's like at the same time though, it's like
you know what? I don't even think you could buy him out. No, you could. You could. I was sorry. I was thinking like you couldn't terminate. You can't terminate his contract. That's what it is.
That you can buy him out. Yeah, there's nothing stopping because he's still going to get his money regardless. Like,
because I think with a no move, you can't terminate a contract because they can't be waived, and you have to waive somebody to do a contract termination. I was like, oh wait, no, I was just mixing those up. But yeah, I mean, at this point,
anybody can be bought out.
Like we've had the experience with Seth Jones, and I keep waiting for it to be better. And I feel like it gets better towards the end of the season, which gives me hope for the next year. And then it's shit.
He has his end of the year flash, and then he has his occasional like 2 or 3 good games during the season, like throughout the season. Like he'll go on like a span of like 3 good games that you're like, okay, here we go. It's like, and that's what's so frustrating is it's like it's there. He can be this defenseman and this player that like we all expected him to be, and why he was drafted top 5 and all this stuff. Like you can see the glimpse of it. The problem is that I don't know. Is it like he wants to be the guy? He wants everything to run through him. Like he has to be like top dog in the team and all that kind of stuff. Cause it's like, you see him looking off the dart and stuff. Like, it's just, we talk about PLD being a locker room cancer and shit. I mean, is Seth Jones in that category?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to be in the locker room to find that out. Like, I never want to put that on anybody because like, I feel like half the time it's people blowing stuff out and they just want it to be that way. They want it to be like, oh, this guy's definitely a locker room cancer. And then like you hear from the players like, I fucking love that guy. He's like one of the best. Yeah. It's just on the ice though. You're like, why, what the fuck is going on? Like, how come we don't hear from you? Like after the games, like how come you hear from Hall and you hear from Bedard saying like, we gotta be better. Like you can't do that in that setting. Like you can't do that to the fans who are there to support you and play like that. And then he just has nothing to say. It's just fucking crazy.
You had Taylor Hall, who was like, looked like on the verge of tears in the locker room after that game. Yeah. Like with the disappointment and all that. And then you got Foligno, who is doing what he can to like change the culture of Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
He got in a fight. Tried to get the boys going. It's already 5-1 at that point. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but that he might not get as much credit for because according to
Braden Shannon's the one
that asked for it.
Yeah, Braden Shannon's like, hey, you guys need some fucking juice or something? Like, I'll give you one.
But yeah, it's just like this whole team, it's bad. And I mean, there's another example. Like, I don't like the podcast but I saw the clip of Ryan Whitney talking on Spin Chicklets, and I was telling you about this, that he was at Wrigley for the Hawks practice day. And at the end of practice, they do that typical drill where it's like you get 5 pucks, you have to score all 5 on a breakaway to end it. And he's like, it was 35 minutes and there was only 1 goal that went in. And you can just see, you could just look around and you could just see the look on all like the guys' faces, like what the fuck? Like, it was demoralizing. And he's like, I was about ready to go pay Mrazek just to let 4 more in real quick to get the guys out of there. But it's like,
I bet Mrazek was feeling really good about it though.
Oh yeah. But it's like, it's stuff like that. It's you can't you're not having fun in a time that you're supposed to be having fun.
Yeah.
And in a game like this, it should have been a huge like relief, and just like, yeah, it's an NHL regular season game, but we all know the Winter Classic's more than that.
Right.
And it just an experience. You have your family there. It's supposed to be one of those things. And it's like this team it felt like it was a preseason game.
Yeah, man. It was. I'm curious to see what the fuck happens on Friday, on tomorrow. Like, yeah, what happens? Who shows up? What's like how do you move forward? Is that rock bottom? Is that rock bottom? And like the only way to go up the only place to go is up now? Or are they gonna fucking sit there and dwell at fucking rock bottom?
The scary thing is, if this isn't rock bottom, I am terrified to see what is.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, Jason Dickinson was talking about it too. And he's like, he goes, you feel like things were improving and you guys we were taking that step forward, and now it just feels worse than it's ever been.
Yeah. And
it's like these guys are taking their step back and all that kind of, and it's like the players see it, the management sees it. Like, what else has to be done to do this? I mean, are the Hawks the first team in history to fire 2 coaches in 1 year? Like, what
does it even count as firing if you're just like, yeah, go back to Rockford, you need to marinate a little bit more? Like, I'm curious, like, how much of this is actually would be on Anders? Like, if the guys can't complete a fucking pass, like, what's the coach supposed to do about that?
And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like this is on him. I'm just saying, it's like, what do you do? Like, you have to fire a coach every time you get on a losing streak so you can win 3 games in a row, and then you just keep going through it. What are you going to do? Just go through the entire coaching staff?
Yeah,
and everybody gets a turn. Yeah, everybody gets a turn as interim head coach this year, like freaking dads in Little League Baseball. Every week, someone else is in charge of the team. Like, what? Like, it's just. This is professional hockey, and I think that this is another reason why we talked about it before, that they need to go with experience on their next head coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It needs to be a guy with experience. It needs to be the quote unquote Joe Quenneville's, the Peter Laviolette. It needs to be Joe Quenneville. I mean, like that type of guy who has the name, who has the experience, who has the big
guy
record.
that's been in the locker rooms before, the guy that's been on the road for a long time with the teams, the guy that knows what to do, the guy that has playoff experience, the guy that fucking knows it all. That's why I'm really hoping that Laviolette is like, I mean, the Rangers are in a huge downfall. Like, if he's available, like, go that route.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Detroit did a great thing picking up Todd. Why am I blanking his last name?
I can't.
Used to be Oilers.
I know. I'm picturing his face. McLennan. That's what I was like. It's Mick something.
It's Mick something. Yeah.
Fuck.
But it's like that's shit. like that's a team that is a younger team that is in this rebuild, like that should be taking that next step. And they just weren't getting. They went with a coach with not as much head coaching experience, and look at what it got them. Like now they went the other route, and we'll see how that goes. Like I'm tired of this. Oh well, let's give somebody else a shot, and let's new faces, new blood. Let's change the way things done. It's like for some things you gotta just go with the fucking experience, and coaching is one of them.
Is okay, yeah. So McClellan debuted against Toronto, which I mean, you had no time with the team because of the Christmas break. They lost 5-2, and then they beat Washington and Pittsburgh 4-2.
Yeah.
Game. Yeah, man. Oh boy. I do think it's funny that Louis Crevier was an even player that game.
Yeah. I honestly was thinking he wasn't going to play that much after he got that delay game penalty right off the bat, and he scored right away. I was like, oh fuck, there goes his.
He still ended up with third most minutes.
He's good, man.
Fourth most minutes. Yeah, fourth most minutes. I'm being dumb right now. Just staring at numbers. I like his effort. One. I do like his his effort. I think Vlasic just needs to be just out there all the time.
What they want Seth Jones to be, they need to just put that on Vlasic.
Yeah.
He needs to be PP1. He needs to be in key situations. He needs to penalty kill. Like, he needs to be the guy.
I honestly think Seth Jones probably makes a much better 2 than a 1. He's not a 1. He's not your go-to D. I think he's a good support defenseman, a number 2, a guy that's PP2, a guy that's on penalty kill 2. Like, you pair Vlasic with fucking Nolan Allen or Louis Crevier on power play or on penalty kill 1, and then you put Vlasic on the power play. Vlasic is your future like number 1 guy as of right now. Like, who knows? Like, he's so fucking good. I think that he has the potential to absolutely be that number 1 guy. But with
100%.
The amount of guys that we have in our system that could possibly pan out to be there too, if he ends up being 2, he's going to be one of the best fucking 2s out there. Guaranteed.
Yeah, when you got Vlasic, you got Korchinski, you got
Levshinov,
who are all being like, Renzel, who are all being discussed as potential top 2 guys.
Yeah. Even if Korchinski takes over the power play, like, that's fine. You get Vlasic on 2. Like, who cares? The guy, he's going to get so many minutes.
Realistically, Vlasic is more of a 2-way guy.
Yeah.
Where Korchinski is more offensive, defensive minded. So if Korchinski takes over that PP1, that's fine. Fuck it. I don't care. But Vlasic is still the guy when it comes to the back end.
Oh, yeah. I think so. Dude, he's so impressive. It's great. I wonder, I would like to hear more from him too. I'm sure he's going to end up with an A on his jersey in the future.
Dude, I think it's going to be like Bedard with the C, Vlasic with an A, and then I don't know that other. I think I can see like a Renzel or Korchinski maybe go like the whole Taves, Siebes, and Keith thing again.
Oh, I was thinking maybe a little Frankie.
Frankie too, yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Frankie maybe more. You don't know how these guys are going to pan out.
Yeah,
could be even somebody that gets drafted this year.
Could be. That's true. Which is looking like we're going to get a really, really good pick, especially if we keep this bullshit up. Yeah. Like we were saying before, like it's like we know they're not going to be good. We're fine with that, but the effort that was put forward in this game is what makes it so much more frustrating and like unbearable to watch. Like this game, I was so excited to watch, and it was only exciting for St. Louis fans.
It was exciting for the last 10 minutes of the first period for the Hawks.
Yeah. And dude, on a side note, fucking Cam Fowler. How awesome is that though?
That was sick.
2 goals in your 1,000th game,
including the very first one of the game. Yeah, that's awesome. First player to ever play their 1,000th game in an outdoor setting. It was funny. Like somebody was like one of the posts, Instagram posts that was like promoting like, oh, Cam Fowler's about to play his 1,000th game outdoors, or whatever. And someone's like, Holy shit! I didn't know the NHL played that many outdoor games.
Aha, Mr. Funny.
Little stupid shit like that makes me laugh, especially got to find the joy in something when Blackhawks are just bringing misery.
When shit's just depressing.
But yeah, I mean, you got anything else on this Winter Classic and the state of this team?
No. I guess the only thing that now is like the Hawks. That's the first game that they played St. Louis this year, so they have 2 more games left.
Woof.
Which is crazy. I didn't even realize that too. So like, I forgot that like because of the amount of teams that are in the league now and the way the scheduling is, it's like you'd only play 3 games, I guess, against your...
Some. It depends. It's like I think it just depends on scheduling because some it's like I think some division is 4. Right? Yeah, and then
so it's weird that we only play St. Louis 3 times. I feel like that's one of those scheduling things where you should probably get 4 in, like especially like rivalries. If you're trying to push rivalries in the playoffs and not in the regular season, it doesn't make any sense.
Like, why are we playing St. Louis the same amount of times that we're playing Pacific Division teams?
Yeah.
And I'd rather do a 1-1, a home and home, like you do with the Eastern teams.
And both the next 2 games are in St. Louis. So there's 0 games at the United Center this year against St. Louis.
And but hey, we have the neutral site in Chicago.
Yeah, right. So neutral. But I'm really hoping that they can get some of their shit together and do something to like try and redeem themselves on February 8th when they play St. Louis the next time.
Yeah, let me just see what this team looks like.
Before I get into this, who knows? Maybe some trades happen before then.
Yeah, before we get into so we literally have just 2 topics to talk about with this one. Before we get into that, there's just a quick couple of things that happened. Blackhawks called up Colton Dach.
Yeah,
not Colton Dach. Is it Colton Dach?
Yeah.
Why did I think that? Why that sounds so weird to me? I don't know. Okay, they called up Colton Dach.
I don't know.
And he is set to play his first NHL game this Friday against Montreal. So he'll be going. His first NHL game is going to be against his brother Kirby. So that's going to be fun. Except Tanner with his. Actually, they both get hurt. He'll comment.
It might. You never know. Or watch Colton fucking accidentally hurt Kirby.
Yeah. To come in to get him in the lineup, they sent Joey Anderson down to Rockford, and they're going to health bomb Kurashev again.
Yeah. And
they're going to health bomb Lucas Reichel on Friday, which I'm torn on that one. I'm back and forth. Like, I feel like if you're going to start entering the youth into this, why not go full blown and sit like a maroon or something like that? Yeah. But I don't know.
It's like I don't know how you can kind of sit Reichel if you're I'm assuming it's based off production, but like you're putting him on a line that's not going to produce, and he drives the line into the offensive zone basically every single game. Like he takes the breakout, he pushes through the neutral zone, he brings it into the offensive zone. They are good at keeping it deep in their forecheck, but it's weird that like he's taking a break. I thought maybe he's fucking just extremely frustrated with the way that shit's been going down. They're probably like, all right, maybe take a breath. Take a seat for a little and just call fucking unwind. I don't know. Holy shit, man. They need to do something.
Doc has 25 points, 12 and 13 in 30 games this season with Rockford, so he's been playing pretty good. I guess the main thing to look for is I'm just curious to see how his playing style fits. I mean, he's got more of that power forward in him. I know he's not like a big guy, but I mean, he plays hard. So it's going to be, hopefully that's a nice.
I thought he was big.
It's hard.
Is he not big?
Is he? Maybe I'm not thinking. Maybe I'm thinking of someone else. I don't know. I just assume all these kids are small.
Colton Dach. He is. I don't know.
He's still not.
6'4".
Oh, so he is big. What am I thinking then? But whatever. So he's got some size. Oh, he's 196. That's why I figured he would be a little bit heavier.
Yeah, but I'm curious to like when is that stat taken?
Yeah, probably preseason.
Maybe
training camp. But yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be nice to see. I mean, I know it's hard to say like, oh, okay, come on, kid, you're getting called up. You got to put some life into this team. But it's like, hopefully he takes advantage of his opportunities he gets. He's playing with at practice today. He was with Nazar and
Mikheyev.
Mikheyev was on
Teravainen.
Teravainen, that's who it was. So I mean, good opportunity with a good line there. So we'll see. All right, my other point, we can talk about this and we can wrap it up. Chicago fans, you need to chill the fuck out.
Bedard's a bust.
Dude, I am so sick of seeing the Kyle Davidson is trash and he needs to be fired like narrative going on social media.
Oh, yeah, they're terrible. Terrible takes.
Like, nothing has changed in the game plan since Kyle Davidson won this job and they named him general manager. Like, I found a quote from his introduction conference, March 1st, 2022. Clearly, we need to be better. The standings tell us that every day. We're going to rebuild this team both on and off the ice, no matter if it takes 3 years or 5 years to reach the level we want to achieve. We're going to look at more of a rebuild here. There are some things that we need to fix that is going to take time.
Yep.
That was before a complete teardown to get out of cap hell and draft pick hell.
Draft pick heaven. Into draft pick heaven.
Into draft pick heaven.
Yeah.
That Bowman left us. Nothing has changed the plan.
Yeah.
It's 3 to 5 years. So even if you were saying the rebuild started from the minute that he took over, we're only at that 3-year mark. Not even at that 3-year mark yet.
Yeah, technically, like the rebuild wasn't even a build at that start. That was the teardown.
I don't think the rebuild started until last season. In my opinion.
I would say like it's this year.
You think it's this year?
I'd say it's like this year pretty much. Because last year was still kind of a tear it down. I guess you can say you're kind of building a foundation, but like there's a lot of things that happened. It wasn't really building. Because you got a lot of youth, a lot of time on the ice because of like injuries. But
I told you this today. The best and worst thing that happened to this organization was getting Connor Bedard. It's the best because we get this amazing talent that is going to be a vocal point for this team going forward and is going to be a huge part of this team getting back to playoff hockey. The reason why it's bad is because every single person sees him on this team and just assume time to start winning, time to start playing.
Yeah. No.
It's not how this works.
Yeah, everybody stats wise and comparisons of like how he's going to play and points wise. Everybody wants to compare him to like Connor McDavid, which is fine because like that's a comparable player from like when he was playing in junior and everything. It's just his timeline isn't the same as McDavid. His timeline is like the same as like Taylor Hall. Like Taylor Hall was the first overall pick on a team who ended up getting 3 first overall picks after him.
Yeah.
And that's what people need to realize. we got lucky enough to get like our fucking for sure franchise piece immediately. Yeah. The problem is we got it immediately without having the other pieces like ready for that to like happen.
And so here is what I'm talking about. I was looking up some players from the Hawks Stanley Cup era. So rebuilds take time. Everybody knows that Kane and Taves were the driving force behind, the resurgent and the Stanley Cups in Chicago. Like they're the poster child for it. They came right at the time of, all right, time to go to playoff hockey. See, it's at the opposite of what's going on right now with Bedard. Some of the key pieces of the Blackhawks Stanley Cup teams. Duncan Keith, drafted 2002. Didn't see playoff hockey until 2008-09. Seabrook, drafted 03. Didn't see playoff hockey till 08-09. Hjalmarsson, drafted 05. Didn't see playoff hockey till 08-09. Bufflin, drafted 03. Didn't see playoff hockey until 08-09. And the list goes on. You got Dave Bolin, you got Bickle, you got all like Sharp, drafted 01. He saw some playoff hockey with Philadelphia, but he was a fourth line fighter role in that.
Yep.
When he came to Chicago, he was developed into the role, the goal scorer, top 6 guy that he was. Which is
funny because like he was a penalty killer, and then one season he had like 10 fucking shorthanded goals.
Right. Yeah. He didn't see true playoff hockey until 08-09. This shit takes time. It's not going to go overnight. And people upset that they're not putting enough talent around Bedard and all that right now. Do I agree with all the signings that Kyle Davidson did this past offseason? No. I question the Talbertuzzi one. The only one I don't mind that I don't hate is Teravainen.
Mm-hmm.
DJ Brody, don't even fucking talk to me about that one. Talk about another buyout candidate.
See, some of these signings though, like were to try and help make the team better, but like they're also you to make sure that the young guys get more time to develop. Like the team can be hopefully what the idea was to make it a little bit more competitive in this season, but like obviously they're not going to be great and give the other guys time. It hasn't worked out the way that he's wanted it to. I mean, if you listen to the Kyle Davidson interview on 32 Thoughts, like he even talks about that. He's like, we're not where we wanted to be, but like we're going to have to work through that. I think it's such a good interview too.
Yeah, I still got to check that one out.
I would say like you can hear the thoughts on like what the vision is and how no matter how much bitching everybody's going to do, it's not going to fucking change his mind, which is great because I don't want him to listen to the fucking fans because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about a majority of the time.
Dude, if you listen to the fans, you have an underachieving Patrick Kane right now still playing. You have like half the shit. Like you're not going to you'll have Alex DeBrincat, which would still be on the team when you wouldn't have Frank Nazar. You'd still have probably Kirby Doc. You wouldn't have Korchinski. Like
Let's swap those, but yes. DeBrincat for Korchinski and then Doc for Nazar.
Okay, but same point. Swap the ideas.
Okay. You would be paying like DeBrincat $9.5 million minimum for 8 years with Kaner still on an extension. You'd have Doc, who knows, making $5-6 million and no real. And still, obviously, like no fucking first rounder that year. Because, like, I'm sure they don't make that move for Peter Mrazek either, where they get the first rounder, which ends up being Sam Renzel. They literally 0 first rounders that first draft, and they ended up with 3.
They had to go out and make the moves. They weren't the popular opinions, but they did it. And people talking about, we have so much cap space. Why don't we use it to bring in talent? Let me give you an example of, let me ask what you would rather have. And obviously 100%, this is a biased, and I'm going to lead you to the answer that you should be giving me.
Yes.
Would you rather have a farm system that is producing players that are getting time to build their game up over season so that it's next man up when somebody goes down? You have the next class coming in to go. Or do you want to spend to your cap limit and with older guys who have won elsewhere, only for them to come in and completely underperform and have you towards the bottom of the NHL standings, and there's nothing you can do with it because of the contract you gave them, and you're stuck with them for 4+ years?
I mean,
which would you rather have?
That last one sounds pretty enticing.
Do you know who I'm talking about with that last one?
Little Seth Jones, maybe?
Well, Nashville. Look at what Nashville did.
Yeah, I mean, they still have time to turn it around, but
still, like, there's no my point is there's no guarantee that you
yeah,
spend the
right. Oh,
money
absolutely.
that it's just going to be an automatic fix.
We still haven't even seen Laurent Brossoit. You don't know until he gets into the pipes,
It's
like,
just
what's possible.
it blows my mind that you can't be patient enough to wait to see. Like, I couldn't find the exact
Yeah.
quote, but like I'm pretty sure Kyle Davidson pretty much said when he got the job was, "I'm not building this team to win now. I'm building this so this team doesn't. Once they start winning, they don't stop."
Yeah. 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 He's like, I want this team to be competitive for 15 years, not 5.
Yeah,
Like, it's like, oh yes. Like it's all of the frustrations and everything, like with the guys that are underperforming, like those guys aren't going to be here when the Hawks are competing. Like the guys that are going to be here on the forward core when they're competing right now, Bedard and Nazar.
possibly Teravainen and Bertuzzi, depending on that window.
No, the window is probably like 4 or 5 years. I'm saying like when they're like constantly
consistently like
yeah,
Tampa Bay in it.
It's like Bedard and Nazar, maybe Reichel's still here, like Colton Dock, who just got the call up. Maybe he's on the team full time at that point, and that's it.
The only
for the forward core. That's it.
The Nazar and Bedard are the only guys that I've penciled in. Not even penciled in, I have them tattooed in as being a part of this team going forward. Like everybody else, it's like, would it be great if they're here when we start winning again? Yeah, of course. But I'm not going to lose sleep if they're not.
Yeah. I mean, the majority of these guys are in their 30s. They'll end up being in their mid to late 30s at that point. Like Pat Maroon's 35, Craig Smith's 34. Like they're not going to be here during that time. Tyler Bertuzzi is going to be 29 really soon. Mikheyev is 29. Teravainen's 29. Taylor Hall's 32. Nick Foligno I love Nick Foligno. He's 36, but he's not going to be here during that time. Jason Dickinson might be here at the beginning of it, but I doubt it unless he like really wants to just stay. Like I'm sure he's going to be such a good trade piece that they'll be like, do you want to go to a competitor like for this, like make a playoff run? You'll probably just, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I said that in the game in our group text. So I was like, I can't wait to see what Donato goes for at the trade deadline this year. Like he's another guy I think is going to get. And it's like, yeah, not only are they not going to be here when the team gets good, I'll be surprised if some of them are still even here past the deadline.
Yeah. And then like on the defense, like it's a little bit more exciting because I feel like Nolan Allen's making a real good case for himself for the future and like being a mainstay defenseman. Like Vlasic's going to be here. I think that those are like the only two, like almost Vlasic's a guarantee. I'll tell you that. But Nolan Allen is a very possible, and then that's all for like the guys of the future.
100%. But
maybe
really calm down, breathe, relax. Shit is going to be fine. Kyle Davidson is doing what he was hired to do. You might not like it, but it's what's best for this team. And when you're cheering for multiple Stanley Cups down the line, I hope you remember. I hope you clear out your ex. I hope you clear out all your posts everywhere. You're going to look stupid. Stupid idiots.
Stupid idiots. I forgot that Sasha Boyver is also going to be here.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many people. Like he's doing. Like we're filling up so well, and we still have 2 more picks, first round picks this year, upcoming draft.
Yeah,
and one is probably going to be top 5.
Oh yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
And everybody's talking like about Lefschnoff was such a bad pick. It's like, oh yeah, cool. There's much better forwards in this upcoming draft than there was last year, and so now we get Lefschnoff and a solid forward.
Yeah, I hope that everybody just I hope Lefschnoff tears it up and everybody just gets to eat all this shit that they've been saying. That'd be great. I'd love it. I don't know. Are we almost done ranting? I feel good now.
Yeah, let's call it. We're just gonna call this Winter Classic Fallout.
Oh, okay.
Unless you had something.
I was just gonna call it. I was gonna should call it. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. But yeah.
No, I like that. We'll do that. All right. Make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast feed, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the big two. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for the full episode and clips of segments, which I think we'll have a couple on this one. Social media at WCB Podcast. And yeah, we will see you on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.